as a singer, I know you know how important vocalizing is. And if you've been taking voice lessons for a long time, certainly you have a whole arsenal of vocalises that you've done with your teacher. And you realize that doing those exercises create a really good foundation for your excellent vocal production and keeping your voice healthy. So what I wanted to talk about today is the importance of what vocalises you actually start out with, why and how you do them every time you decide to go and practice and vocalize. So the thing is that if you vocalize in the right way, these starting exercises create a foundation for what you're going to do the rest of that practice session. And this foundation has 3 pillars. 1 is the breath, 2 is the vibration, and 3 is the focus. And so if you systematically work out your vocalises to address those 3 things, and in that order, then you're setting your voice up for success to do whatever you need to do it later on. All right? So the first thing that we talk about is the breath and the connection to the breath. And so what I like to do is I like to do a breathing exercise that, first of all, allows us to really focus in what it feels like to take in a deep breath, and then using our breath efficiently in controlling how it goes in and then how it goes out. And so this is a very simple kind of counting exercise. That what you do is you take a breath in 4 counts, and then you exhale that breath on a hiss in 8 counts. All right? So you take in a breath in 4 counts, and exhale in 8. Now, the point is that what you want to do is you want to make sure that in 4 counts, you have filled your lungs with air. And in 8 counts, you've completely exhaled all of the air from your lungs. Okay? So, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're measuring your air so that you're not getting all that breath in 2 counts, and then you're holding your breath for the last 2 counts before you exhale. And then you also don't want to blow out all of the air all at once, and so then you're feeling like you're squeezing for breath at the end of the 8 counts. And conversely, you don't want to hold back the air so that by the time you get to the end of the 8 counts, you still have air in your lungs. You want to fill your lungs with air up to the end of the initial counts, and then you want to expel all of the air all the way through to the final counts. All right? So let's do that together. All right? So I'm going to count. We're going to do in four breaths, or 4 beats in for breathing in and 8 beats out. Okay? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Did you have any air left? I hope not. All right, let's try it again. All right, so breathe in 4, out in 8. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Okay, so now what we could do is we could take this exercise even a little further. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to breathe in 4 counts, but then we're going to breathe out in 12 counts. All right? Now, obviously, our lungs didn't get any bigger, okay? So our lungs are still the same size. We still have the same amount of air, but this time what we have to do is we have to measure the air coming out to make it through 12 counts. All right? So let's try this. We'll do it twice. All right? So breathe in 4, out in 12. All right? Here we go. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How'd you do? All right, let's try it one more time and make any corrections that you need. All right, so here we go. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. All right, so you obviously can change that up. You can do breathe in 4 and breathe out in 10. Breathe in 4. I mean, if you're singing some crazy, crazy aria that has lots and lots and lots of phrases, long, long, long phrases, you can breathe out in 14, however you want to do that. But now let's go the other way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in 2 counts and breathe out in 8 counts. So again, our lungs are still the same size. We still have to get in the same amount of air, but this time we're only getting it in 2 counts. All right? So here we go. Breathe in 2, out in 8. And breathe in 2 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, let's try that again. And breathe in 2, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so what you're doing here is you're training your breath to get used to taking quick breaths and having to keep the breath going consistently and steadily, and then taking more time to breathe and having your breath even go longer. And in this exercise, it's also giving you an opportunity to really focus on what it is that your body is feeling when you're taking in that air and when you're letting it go. All right? So the breathing exercises is the first pillar. All right? The second pillar is vibration. And vibration, what I'm talking about, is what is going on inside your mouth and what is going on in your voice box, around your vocal cords. All right? So what we want to do is we actually want to vocalizing now in the lowest part of your range. And in the lowest part of your range, what we're going to do very gently and easily is we're just going to use this syllable jum and zhung. So zh as in the sound in the middle of the word pleasure, okay? And then the vowel um, and ung, ung, okay? So what we're going to do is start near the bottom of your register, okay? The bottom of your range. And what you're going to do is you're just going to do jum, 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 jum. All right, so very easy, just going down from the 1 down to the 5 to the 1 to the 5. All right? So let's do that again, and we'll do a couple more, and we're going to go down. Okay? Jum, 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 jum. Jum, 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 jum. Jum, 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 jum. Okay? So all we're doing here is just singing 2 notes down at the bottom of your range. Very, very easy. Should not sound like there's any pressure in your throat at all. You should just feel vibration. Vibration in your neck, vibration in your mouth. Okay? Then what you can do is you can do lots of things with these particular consonants and syllables. One thing you can do a split triad, a broken triad going down. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. So again, making it super simple, easy, restful, okay? Now, the thing about these exercises is that these very beginning exercises you want to keep down in the bottom of your range. Now you can take some of these exercises like that last one. You could go up. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. Jum, jum, jum. But I would not take it higher than your primo passaggio. Okay, so that you're just going to take it to that register break where your chest voice is meeting your middle voice, and just leave it there. Again, the higher that you go, it should still feel really easy and relaxed. And so we're just feeling those muscles be massaged by this vibration that you create with the zh and with the zheng and the okay? Now, what we do after that is we're going to start to open up the voice a little bit. And by opening up the voice a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to still use consonants. We're going to use a Z and we're going to use a V. And we're going to do those with the same syllables of and okay? But by using the Z and the V, it opens up our mouth a little bit more, okay? So what's really important about using a Z and a V is that you make sure that you have a vowel behind the Z and the V, okay? What I mean by that is that when you say zzz, you want to make sure that while your teeth are very close together, okay, the behind your teeth in the back of your mouth is nice and open with a vowel, like an or an e or an ah. So the difference in that sound, here is no space, zzz. That Z doesn't have a whole lot of resonance. But if I open up the space behind the Z, zzz, now I got a lot of resonance. So it's really important that in this next stage, we're opening up the vowel space so that we start getting used to vibration more in an open space in your mouth. So the vowel has to be behind. So what I like to do here is start with a zung. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go zung. And now bring that up. Zung. Bring that up. Zung. And then you can go a little higher. Now you go into your primo passaggio and maybe just above it. All right, so that you start opening up that vowel space. All right, then what you can do is you can combine the zung and the vung. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to go zung, vung, zung, vung, zung, vung, zung, vung, zung. So now we have a nice open space. And we are always singing the Z and the V with that open space, but that we're finding now the vibration on our palate for more time with that NG ringing and vibrating, okay? So that also you can take higher, up into the primo passaggio and above. All right, so that is vibration. That is the second pillar of these foundational exercises. All right, so we started with breath, then we used vibration using the combination of consonants, zh, z, and v. making sure that we start easy and low, then we open up the vowel, we can go a little higher, making sure that there's a vowel behind the consonants, and really using that NG to allow it to ring and vibrate on your palate, okay? The last pillar is the focus. And what the focus is all about is that you've used all of these exercises before, all of these syllables before, to actually encourage open vowels to ring in the same places, okay? So this time what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate more open vowels. So we can still use Z as a starting point, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to sing just a 5-tone scale going down, but this on the first note we're going to sing zung, and then we're going to sing ah on the rest of it. Zung ah. So what I'm doing in this exercise is that I'm finding that vibration with the Z and the NG on my palate. And then I open it up to an ah, and I try to allow the ah to live and vibrate and ring in the same place where the NG did, okay? So, zung ah, and you can go higher, zung ah, 2 more, zung ah, 1 more, zung ah, and you can take this exercise up into just to your secondo passaggio, all right? So that you're taking it a little higher into that second area of transition between your middle voice and your full head voice, okay? Another exercise that you can do here with vung is you can do vung e e e e, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to go 5 6 5 4 3 2 1, okay? So this exercise is going to be vung e vung e vung. And this one you can take into your secondo passaggio. So now you have gradually gone from the lowest part of your voice all the way in to your secondo passaggio, so that you really have sort of laid that foundation for your voice to now realize that everything's vibrating on all cylinders. You've got the breath that you need to support whatever it is that you're doing, and you feel like your vowels are focusing where it is that you want them to ring, okay? One last thing that I'm going to say before this is that, or before I end this, is that it's really, really super, super important that when you are vocalizing mindfully, okay? It's very easy to go into a practice room or do this around your living room or do this when in the car when you're driving, and sometimes you need to do that. But the thing is that if you vocalize and you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner that night and where you're going to go out to eat next week, and if you have to pick somebody up from school this afternoon, whatever it is, if you're thinking about all of these things and you're not thinking about your vocal exercises, then you're not actually doing what the vocal exercises are meant to do. You have to be concentrating on what it is that you're doing. Now, these exercises that I do, these foundational exercises, could take you less than 5 minutes to do. Might take you 3 minutes to do. And then you go on to other exercises that address other things in your voice that you need to get your voice ready for. But what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that every time you approach these exercises, you approach them mindfully. So, one more thing I want to say. I know I said I was going to say only one more thing the last time, but this is the last thing, I promise. I have created a course all on the art of vocalizing, and it's called Voracious Vocalizing. And in this course, I cover absolutely everything that you need to know about vocalizing, why it's important, how it is that you want to plan out a vocalizing session, starting with these foundational exercises and other exercises to help address certain things in your voice and the journey of a vocalizing session. And I also then give you a practice vocalese session starting from the beginning to the end that you can actually put on your computer or your device and sing along to when you need to vocalize. So if you are interested in this really, really important course, I would love for you to go to my website, follow the link in the comments below this video, and sign up, and I promise that you won't regret it. Your voice won't regret it. Happy singing.